I think there's a small.
I don't think he can hear us.
Yes, he'll fix that. So Raji, you're saying something very important, Raji. Um, Now, Raji, the Minister of Defense on countless time have said they are winning the war on this terrorist thing, blah blah blah. But this is just yesterday. These guys went into our barracks. Let's see if George can hear us now. George, can you hear us? Can you say something? George? Okay,
Can you hear us now? Man, George.
okay. We hope George will get the mic treated. So Raji, yes, there was something you were saying earlier on. Please remember that. Let's hear that again. The viewers are listening. You was telling us how, first of all, Boko Haram has not been called out as labeled and called terrorist group. Yes,
No.
and mhm, go ahead.
Yes. And then there have been thousands of Boko Haram, repentant Boko Haram terrorists have been reintegrated into society. Now, in a situation where others who have not been members of the Boko Haram system before, we see that those who became Boko Haram terrorists, who ravaged the community, have now come out to be repentant. They have sworn on the Quran, and they are saying they are not going to be insurgents anymore. And they see them being rehabilitated and funded. Sometimes they are given houses. Sometimes they marry wives for them.
For them.
So it is easy for
George.
that guy to just
Mhm,
go into to become a Boko Haram person and come
yes.
out again and say he's repentant and
and
get
and and
himself
also
funded.
go into the back. Okay, let's welcome George. George Chuku from Toronto, Canada. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can
I
you
don't
hear
think so.
me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can hear
yes,
you.
loud and
We
clear.
can.
Even though
We can
there's a
hear you.
lag, yes, we can hear you, George. George, it's good to see you. How are you, big brother? How are you, big?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I want to welcome viewers from around the world. Sorry about the
Mhm.
technical issues I've been dealing with since we started.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
George,
Yes.
we've been talking. Raja has been giving us some real insight here. First of all, we remember that today begins the British people celebrating the what they call the V-Day. That's marking the end of the World War II. Today till the 8th of May, they will be having those events. The King Charles we saw earlier was doing some parade, and we talked about that. Raji said it's their war, right? So I don't know, George. What do you know about the V Day? And is there any update on that?
I
The
don't
V
have
Day.
any. I
Um,
actually don't have any update on that. We're talking
okay.
about World War Three.
Mhm.
we are remembering World War One or two. We're heading for World War Three right now. That's the most predominant thing in my mind.
Okay. Okay.
I can
Yeah.
understand them and celebrating that. That's okay.
That's okay. Okay, George, there's also the update from your corner, not too far from you, in Arizona, United States.
Hmm.
9 people have been shot at last night. Did you hear that? Were you?
Yeah, I saw it on a
Mhm,
news flash.
mhm.
I saw it on a new flash about 9 people, but they were still getting the
Yeah.
information
Yes.
ready. Yeah, when I had it.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Then we now came to the core issues we have here. We were talking about 4 of our soldiers being killed, Boko Haram penetrating into our barracks and killing our servicemen. And we were just analyzing that before you came in. George, is it not serious that this is happening? This is about the 10th time we're having soldiers come into our barracks and kill our servicemen. Tell us, George.
Terrorists coming to the barracks. Well,
Terrorists coming to the barracks.
yes,
Mhm.
it is. Sometimes you go through some of these nonsense that is happening in our country, and it becomes a laughable situation. Nothing is serious in that country anymore, if you ask me. considering what has been happening in the Middle Belt, in the Plateau, Jos, Benue, and all those type of things. So this one is nothing but a laughable situation. Think about it for a moment. Here we are subduing all citizens. If anybody rises up and say anything bad about the government, they will trump us some charges, arrest the individual, and put them in jail illegally. And then you're talking about Boko Haram. Well, Boko Haram is part of Nigeria now. The people sponsoring them are the government officials from the north. So, they're doing their thing. They've been doing it for many, many years. If it's been something, and then when you capture them, then you lock them up, and then you'll be told to release them, and through the back door, you bring them out, gather a lot of virgins, and, do a mass marriage for them. And then, when you didn't do that, they will come and kidnap your girls and pregnant a lot of them. This is all laughable situation. I think we need to concentrate on better news than all that mess, because Nigeria is not ready to change, unfortunately. So there is no need to waste our time talking about nonsense. The government is there, the military is there, and then what are they doing? EFCC, the only thing they do is when it comes from the top to go and arrest an individual because they spoke against the government, they will go and arrest them illegally and lock them up. Man, let's find some better news outside of Nigeria and start talking, because that country is, it's real tiring,
Well,
if you ask me.
it is tiring. No, but you see, the
We,
situation around. Yes, Raji, go ahead.
yes, it may be tiring to you, Sir George, but those of us who are here, we are roughing it out. We are roughing it out. We are showing our resilience.
Unfortunately,
in
my
spite
brother.
in spite of all the nonsense that is going on. You see, Boko Haram has consistently invaded, killed our soldiers, our servicemen. They are not terrorists as far as the government is concerned. But IPOB is a terrorist group.
IPOB doesn't carry guns. But
IPOB is a terrorist group. Meanwhile, Boko Haram that has been killing our soldiers regularly are their members deemed repentant, and they have been resettled, rehabilitated, funded, given houses. And therefore, those who have seen them, all these people being rehabilitated and funded, feel that yes, they can also become Boko Haram and come out again and say they are repentant and go through the cycle. I think there's a lot of people who's going through that cycle.
You have to understand something, okay? If these soldiers are cows from the north, they will value their lives.
Oh,
it's very unfortunate. They value cows more than human lives. So to them, they're just killing regular uneatable animals. So to them, it's not a problem. But if they are cows or cattle from the north, then you will see them rise up, because to them, all these soldiers that are killed, they are worthless to them. So that's why they're killing them. But they will not kill cows or cattle from their ranches. So that's exactly what it is, and that's how it's so laughable, because all these things are happening, and then when the people rises up and want to go and protest against the government will rise up and kill a lot of them, bury masses, and nothing is really happening. So what do you expect? I don't even understand it. We just keep on going the same cycle, up and down. Nothing is happening. Because now we are in what you call democracy. It's no more democracy. Think about it. No, because think about it.
Yes,
no, seriously, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's no more democracy in that country.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it.
Mm-hmm. It's Raji used to use a word that we use also here in this part of Europe. Anyway, guys, the sad thing about this story is there was a breach in their security labs. These people also went into the armory of that barrack in Yobe State, north of Nigeria, and and have had access to the armory. So you ask, how do they have the access? So some of these things you people are saying could be added as it. What I mean by that is, Raji, you talked about bringing recalling some Boko Haram back into the society. Now, those ones could go back to the barrack, study the barrack, and join their Boko Haram again and give them the info of how the barrack structure is. You know, for them to have those access to the armory and everything. It's really crazy. Anyway,
Ask yourself this question.
mhm,
Where should be the most protected area besides the presidential palace? Isn't it those military barracks?
straight up.
So that now, what you call cattle rearers, Boko Haram, bring their guns into your barrack and was able to kill a bunch of people and have access to the armory.
Mhm,
Isn't that just a shame on the military
it is.
that they are unable to even use intelligence to know when these people are coming after them?
It is, George.
I mean, what are we doing?
It is, George.
What are we doing in that country? For goodness sake.
So let's see that clip again. This topic matters because even though George said, let's say something better, but it will maybe our continuous scratch on the issue might wake them up. See what happened again.
This is where Boko Haram has dislodged us into 7th Task Brigade, Oniadi. See the camp. See the camp. See where we did. See the camp. See the camp. See the camp. See our camp.
Who was making the video?
Yes. A soldier was making the video. He was lucky to have escaped, but four of his fellow his colleagues were taken out. Now they dislodged them because there was, like they said, the story is there was a breach. Somehow the commanders told them, move on, you people are covered, but they weren't covered. And this happened. It's sad. Servicemen, people that put their heart to die for our country, are now being killed, slaughtered like chicken. We can't take this again. The government has to do something.
Nigeria is a joke, honestly speaking. Nigeria has become nothing but a joke. Think about it for a moment. In a military barrack, this thing is happening. Who are fueling these people? Who are arming them? Who is giving them the ammunition to come against a military barrack? Come on. We have shown ourselves so naked to the world that even little country like little countries can now come and invade Nigeria because you guys are nothing but a talking giant that have no action whatsoever. Come on. No intelligence that the military men are going to be there in the barracks and then they're going to be hiding like women. Maybe we need to employ our women to become the military men in military people in Nigeria because women might be able to protect us better than this.
There might be connivance. There might be connivance, definitely.
Yes.
Because the ease with which they breach all our securities is baffling.
Yes, there might be connivance.
Yes.
Right. Yes. All right, viewers, that's it. Boko Haram killing 4 of our servicemen in Yobe State. And federal government, we are calling you out, Ministry of Defense, into all of those ministries in charge of security of lives. You have to wake up. Something has to be done. Something has to be done very fast. Thank you.
Finally, I wanted to just say something finally.
Okay, go ahead. Uh-huh.
The worst thing that will happen to us is to see somebody who is in charge coming out to give excuses over this city issue, because this is exactly what the government has mastered in doing. You come, you give excuses, you turn the situation around and begin to criticize the wrong people. So please, let us man the situation and ensure that this does never happen again, because this is a shameful situation happening in our country.
Thank you. That was the final notes. So we hope you had that, those concerns. Gentlemen, let's come also to a small news before we go on the break. Somehow, NDLEA that agency that handles drug law enforcement agents, they intercepted a big chunk of some real heavy drug during the weekend. About 3.4 billion naira worth of opioids, codeine, cocaine, and everything. Gentlemen, when we hear this, it looks like some agencies are working. And are they not working, Raji?
Well, they seem to be working. I hope it is not just publicity.
Okay.
I hope it's not just publicity, but they seem to be working. And I hope it's not a recycling of the same things that they seize one time or the other. They seem to be working very well. And so is NAFDAC too.
Okay. Okay. You mean, the clips we have shows fresh encounter. I mean, fresh activities. So it's new. About 3.4 billion naira worth of opioid and a lot of hard drug. But you see, it's not one state. It's both Rivers State, Port Harcourt, and Lagos State joint operation they did. George.
Okay.
I would say congratulations to NDLA because they're doing good. I mean, this is the second time they're recovering something huge like this. When they do good, we have to hail them. Because there are some like what you said. Some departments are very active. You mentioned NAFDAC also, because these are the things. Is it that they're bringing these drugs, and our people are dying. Remember the crystal meth, Igbo call it mkpuru that was destroyed a whole lot of our youths. Because they find a path of least resistance by taking drugs to mask all the emotional trauma that is being caused in the country. And most of them died. So congratulations to NDLA. We are proud of you. Please continue the good work because Nigeria is a great country. And if manned well and governed well, that country will rise. But let democracy speak, not authoritarianism that we are experiencing in that country. It is no longer a fancy, sexy thing to be talking about, everybody that, have a freedom of speech and come and speak against the government, or you come after them, you trump up charges and lock them up. This is just a shameful situation. And by the way, while we are talking about that, the diasporans need to rise up. Whoever is manning EFCC and the rest of them, when they begin to operate like this, we need to find out who those people are and write around the world that they cannot leave Nigeria so that they can ban them from traveling outside of Nigeria. This is time for us to rise up and start doing things like that. Because or else they will just, take have the I don't know where I will call it, to be doing whatever they want to do to the citizens. And nothing happens. It is about time we have enough people in the diaspora to combine together that whenever things like this are happening, let every country put those names where they're supposed to be. So these people cannot be able to leave Nigeria anymore. And if they come out, to make sure that we find out where they are and deal with them internationally. Because this is just, it doesn't make any sense anymore.
All right. Thank you, George. Straight up. Viewers, let's do a small break. George, Raji, we'll be back. Thank you.
King Guayas, who joined
Elevate your new week. Fuel your success. SSM invites you to kickstart each weekday with our news update, Between the Lines, featuring the week's top news and analysis, and the most attention-grabbing lines, deciphering world event.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network. one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes, George Raji, you're welcome back. Viewers, you tuned into Between the Lines, 5th May 2025. Gentlemen, let's come to something that is also very crucial now. Nigerians are, with all George is saying, a lot of things are going wrong. So some people are looking deep and saying, let's go back to the implementation of 2014 National Conference report. Raji, I know you probably have something on that. The National 2014 National Conference report was an arrangement done by Jonathan Goodluck, then the president of Nigeria at that time. And what he did was he gathered 492 delegates representing cross-section of Nigerians, also some professionals, to look into issues on Nigeria that could move us forward. Gentlemen, what do you say? Will that implementation work? And is that an ideal thing to begin to talk about?
You remember that Tinubu and his group at that time did not join that, did not take part in that conference.
Okay.
Even though the conference was about implementing what they have been talking about, restructuring and all those things. You know, now that Tinubu is in government, I don't think he will ever look at that report, even if the report is good. That also reminds me about Vision 2010. When I got the document of the Vision 2010, I was wowed. You know, I had to go and see Shonekan, and I have to prostrate for him, because that document is a fantastic document. But that document has been shredded and dumped into the dustbin. Same thing has happened to the whatever Jonathan tried to do. Same thing has happened with the deceit, the deception that happened when APC set up a restructuring committee with El-Rufai as chairman. There is no honesty. There's no honesty in government. There's no honesty in the people in government. There's, however, another group, the Movement for National Restoration, which was a group set up by Chief Enahoro before he passed. We are also trying to organize something like that, where nationalities will be represented on the forum and will come up with something. The constitution we are running now is an illegitimate constitution, even though it is a prima facie document that you have to deal with. There's everything in that constitution to make Nigeria ungovernable. But that's the constitution we are using now. Until we say to ourselves, look, enough of this nonsense is enough. This presidential system of government that we are having does not favor us. It's not good for us. To be president of this country, you must have at least 1 trillion naira. And the person who puts in 1 trillion naira to be president is just going to make sure that he gets his money out. It is a transaction.
It's a transaction.
It's a transaction.
Okay.
But yes, but in a parliamentary system, the head of government is the leader of the party.
Let's welcome BD. BD from Lagos, Nigeria. BD, Nana, you're welcome. Good to see you. Yes.
Good evening.
Auntie B.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Sir Raji, Sir George, good evening. Our viewers all around the world, good evening. I'm pleased to be here today.
BD, it's good to have your face with us today. You make us look good.
Thank you for having me.
Nice. All right. Yes, BD, we're discussing what a lot of Nigerians are asking for: the implementation of the 2014 vision. And Raji just told us now about the 2015 or 2010.
10.
Yes, the 2010. Yes, that one was more of an economic plan, But the 2014 was more of, it was general. It encompasses every thing that makes up the sovereignty of Nigeria. George, what do you have on that? Let's hear.
Well, I mean, I know they had about between 500 to 600 delegates that have been, they came up with almost 600 resolutions and produced 10,355 page reports. Now, it looks good and it sounds good, but what difference is it going to make in our governing system in Nigeria? Would this government, accept such a resolution? Would they accept it as something that is viable to bring equity and fairness and justice around among all the states? I doubt it. And even if they adopt it, would they obey it?
Okay.
Because you can receive a resolution. It is 10,355 pages, and they're going to go through it, about 600 resolutions. These are things we've been asking for. Okay. Now, the government can only adopt it if it fits into their own narrative and it will become advantageous for them. But if it is not, they will not adopt it. They might bring it in and let it sit for many, many months until they get out of power. So, all these fancy ideas, and I'm quite sure that a lot of money was spent by these people, about 500 to 600 people coming together, sitting down, going through these things and producing all these reports. Billions of naira were spent. So, but what is that going to do in the bottom line? What is that going to do to the citizens of Nigeria? Would it change the government practice of not suppressing the people? Would it change the government practice when people come to exercise their constitutional right of freedom of speech and they will not begin to, arrest them and then lock them up? Is that what's going to happen? And if it's against the North, will it be adopted? If they find any loopholes there whereby the South can also enjoy the same thing they're enjoying, would they adopt it? Those are the critical questions that we have. So we need to really pay attention.
Yes,
to what is happening in our country.
Paying attention. BD, you are there. You probably also had the news. The man championing this cause is Bode George, the PDP chieftain in the Southwest. He says for a better Nigeria that Tinubu should implement the 2014 National Conference report. Now, what we did was have a little insight into that report, and I see, some very good analysis.
Some interesting analysis there. For instance, they said to scrap the 774 local authorities, create at least 18 more states, and reallocate the way the revenue allocation is being given so that everybody will come on a playing field and all those type of things. They are fanciful, beautiful things that they have looked into in detail. And some of these things, if well implemented, citizens will enjoy. But the question also arises, will it work? Would they actually implement it and respect it?
Okay, let's hear from BD. BD, tell us. Yes, you think they will hear this?
Yeah, it's been, let me use the word, trending in Nigeria. But the question we should ask ourselves: are they truly going to implement it? If you want me to tell you the truth, they certainly will not. Now, see, this is why I say that when this government came on board, this was the first thing they said. And people rejoiced. They said they are going to implement the 2024 confab, and Nigerians were happy. And committees were set up. And before you know it, everything fizzled away. And now, from the quarter at which it's coming from Bode George, a PDP member, even if they want to implement it, coming from where it's coming from, it is dead on arrival. So I don't know what you want me to say, but that's just my own analysis in this thing. They will talk about it, they will make noise about it, they will constitute committee, people will make money out of it. But certainly, this 2014 confirm will certainly not be implemented. Everybody has seen it. If they actually implement this, it will make things easy in Nigeria, but certainly they will not implement it. Even the Western world we are talking about know that this will actually make a way for Nigeria, so they will not allow it sit. So that's just my take on this.
Strong take. You're there with George too. Viewers, you're tuning to Monday Between the Lines, 5th of May, 2025. We're talking the 2014 national conference that was held April 17th of 2014. And that conference had issues like citizenship, immigration, issues on how the House should be running, our House of Assembly, the law chambers, and a lot of things: dual citizenship, movement of persons and goods, asylum, refugee, internally displaced people. Very good topics, but sadly, like George and PD saying, it will be hard to implement.
Look at this particular one. This one is very interesting. Power should be shared and rotated at all levels of government. Presidency should rotate between North and South and among 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Likewise, governorship posts should rotate among the 3 senatorial zones of the state. So can you just imagine where this is possible in Nigeria? Can you imagine what Nigeria will actually look like? And you know that we always want to find, we always try to find a way to bastardize good things. But if it happens this way, it could become a way to, appease every side of Nigeria and everybody. Because right now, as it stands, power is rotating among the elite. And that's all that is. That's all. It's almost like, and the presidential system in Nigeria is governed from outside.
Wow. Okay.
You see why I told you that will certainly will not be implemented. You know why I said it? APC is a government that likes to grab power. And everything APC is doing in Nigeria is towards 2017. So implementing that will take a lot of power off their hands. So certainly they will not implement it. Do you understand? So even if they are going to implement, maybe towards
they could implement it. Yes, a second term when he secures his 4 years. No, when he secures the 4 years to make his rulership 8 years, then he can implement it. So when he leaves, then we can start killing each other.
All right, gentlemen, on a lighter note, let's look into something that also it touched me the day I had it, and that is the death of a very vocal man, the founding member of that pan-Yoruba social political group called Afenifere. That's the man Ayodele Adebanjo. Let's see this clip. Then we'll come.
If you want the future of Nigeria to be better for you, not for me. Not for me at all, for your generation. Anybody in Nigeria today who is affected by the rottenness of the government, by the unpalatable situation of the poor man in every application. No light, no water, roads are bad, education bad, health bad. We make sure that the Obi is done to power. Any other thing?
Now, that's the elder man, Ayodele Adebanjo. He died February 14th on Valentine's Day, interestingly, 2025, at the age of 96. But he was laid to rest 2 days ago on Saturday, the 3rd of May. Services were done in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. Gentlemen, that was a man that spoke his mind all till his death. And like you all know, he supported LP presidential candidate Peter Obi. Let me start with Raji. Raji, when we lose people like this, obviously vacuum has opened. Are we going to have more minds that will come like this?
When an old, upright, honest, respectable, decent old man dies, and at that ripe old age of 96, he goes away with a whole library. A whole library of knowledge, of what it takes to be decent, of the man never came out to contest elections, but he was a brain behind a lot of the policies that the Action Group, later the UPN, and later the Alliance for Democracy put forward. He was a consistent believer in the ideals and ethics of Obafemi Awolowo, the present-day Orisha of Nigeria, of Yoruba land. He was a disciple unto his last day, and he always said this as it is. He never saw white and called it gray or not white enough. He said it as it is.
Indeed.
And you can go to bed with whatever he said, he told you, because the next day you find him in the same spot. And this is what I told you yesterday. This is what I'm telling you again today. He doesn't have to insist, because he's truthful, he's upright, he's honest. When he says good morning, you don't have to go out to look whether it is morning or not. May his soul rest in perfect peace. You have lost a gem. You have lost a whole library.
Thank you, Raji. Truly, Raji, your words are very deep. Ayodele, Pa Ayodele was from the Southwest, but he rooted and strongly supported Peter Obi. Didi, tell us, that showed how he probably wasn't tribal. He wasn't thinking any of those things like people do, tribalistic thoughts. He was out for true governance, real.
There was nothing tribalistic in his stance. He was standing for decency, for equity, for equality. It has nothing to do with tribalism.
Yes,
the man was a proud Yoruba man until his
your
last
audio
day.
is off. Yes. Okay, let's come to George. I think BD's audio. Georgie.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
You know,
I say condolences to Nigerians. We've lost a great man, a real legend. That's what I call him. Pa Ayo Adebanjo, we are going to really miss you, because he is just like Bode George and Edwin Clark and all the rest of them. These are elderly statesmen that can come out and tell you what they think, and you can be assured that it's coming from the heart, not because of political persuasion or maybe tribal sentiment or whatever, or religious persuasion or whatever the case might be. These are men that actually love Nigeria and want Nigeria to stand the way it is supposed to stand. So we will miss him very, highly, and our condolences to the family. We mourn with you. But and not only that, at the age of 96, he lived a very wonderful, good life. So we will not only mourn with you, we will also rejoice with you for a man that lived out his days the way it's supposed to. He exited through the front door. He didn't go through the back window, through sickness or whatever the case might be. So we will miss him greatly.
BD.
Yeah.
Yes,
I can hear you.
Right.
Pa Ayo was buried in his hometown in Ijebu-Ode, and Nigerians poured out. The attendance of the burial is what I call, like when you have a heavy pour. You see, it's so unfortunate that people like this don't have replacements. Pa Ayo is one person. When you say someone is patriotic Nigeria, this is the man you will call him. He don't care who you are, where you're from. He stands on truth. Do you understand? I wish Nigeria know what they lost. As this man was, the day this man died, if you see the way I was crying, I cried, honestly, because I know that we've lost one Nigerian who will look you in the face and tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And it's so unfortunately that people like this, like Sir George said, Edwin Clark, they are going and we are not having the replacement. Do you understand? It is a thing that we Nigerians should be concerned about. Now we say, Pa Ayo has gone. Who can we say will look around an elder that say, oh, he can take his place? We don't have such elders in Nigeria today. The kind of elders we have are the elders who move with the Ghana must go. Do you understand? Their words are being changed just at a flip of paper. Now, so Nigeria really lost something. I'm telling you, I am feeling it. I'm telling you, look at what is happening in Nigeria today. Nobody can even stand and say something like Pa Ayo would have done. We don't have such people now. So, in fact, I'm feeling bad. But what can we say? They say God knows the best.
What can we say?
That if we have our way to buy, we would have bought for him to still live with us.
Okay, for one last time, let's see that clip again. Because of the truth, he cuts across a lot of people. Mostly, if you're a true Nigerian, you believe in honesty, integrity, and all of that. This is the man that represents.
You want the future of Nigeria to be better for you, not for me. Not for me at all, for your generation. Anybody in Nigeria today who is affected by the rottenness of the government, by the unpalatable situation of the poor man in every application, no light, no water, roads are bad, education bad, health bad. We make sure that the Obi is turned to power. Any other thing, you are in a mess.
Said any other thing, we're in a mess. Now, he was a supporter of LP P2B. What you're saying is on Saturday, the 3rd of May, was the final in Ogun State. So he was arrested in Ogun State, Shebuode in Ogun State, and P2B was there. Obviously, he will be there. Also, we saw the after party where the LP candidate for Lagos State, Ladipo Road Bible, was dancing. That's him there also that day of the burial. Okay, so this is it. We appreciate when we see such respected, noble Nigerians. And thank you guys for what you've all added. Let's look at some last issues before we go. George, we're hearing that Trump now says movies that comes into United States that is not produced in the United States will have 100% tariff. So this affects our Nollywood movies because Nigerians in the United States are watching those movies through YouTube, through all these Netflix and everything. Now they are going to put charge on it. BD and George, I know this is some of your issues. Let's hear from George.
Daddy Trump doesn't think before he acts. That's the only problem. You know, he will throw it out there until it starts reverberating and boomeranging back, and then he will change. You know, he feels like Hollywood is dying. And true enough, Hollywood has been declining for many years. So what you're seeing these days is Nollywood is taking over. Now other countries are coming on top. So even in the musical industry, you see a lot of Afrobeat, beating a lot of Americans. So those things are kind of affecting them. So he just came out and, just arbitrarily say 100% tariff. Well, who are going to suffer? Who are the people to suffer? They are the citizens. Because any movie that comes into the country, those tariffs will be now 100% increase. And if they love it and they're addicted to it, they have to buy it at a higher price.
That's it.
So who is he hurting? He's hurting the citizens. That's all it is to it. So at the end of the day, all these tariff wars, the things are just, when it comes down to wire, and people are crying out. I told you I just came back from the US not too long ago, and I was, wanting to buy duty free. The drinks that I used to buy for $63 is now $137. Hello? Did I buy it? No. Now, I will wait until I come back to Canada to buy those drinks, because when they ship them from France, there is no tariff added. But when they ship them to the US, there is tariff added. It's $137. Therefore, that duty free, I did not spend my money there. I waited until I come back here to buy. So when you are implementing tariffs, you have to check the pros and the cons and do anything that where the benefits exceeds the cost. But it seems like almost everything he's doing, the benefits are nowhere to be seen among the citizens. It's all cost to them. So that's where we are when it comes to this movie thing that he's talking about.
The BD, it's going to affect Nollywood production, obviously, or probably it will scale up their budget and everything. What do you say, BD? Okay, I think we lost BD there. Raji, are you still with us? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here with
Raji?
you. I'm here with you.
Okay,
Yes.
Raji, what's your take on this?
Sir George has said it all, because I don't really understand all this tariff nonsense. You don't produce these things in your country. They are coming into your country. They are going to raise tariffs. Those who are buying it will have to pay for the increase in tariff.
That's it.
It doesn't make any
That's it.
sense.
Okay, gentlemen.
Adding to that, a question was asked him, because our new Prime Minister, Connie, is going to meet with him tomorrow.
Yes.
So they asked him a question, whether he's coming to discuss the tariff, and he is regurgitating the same things that he said. Oh, we subsidize Canada for billions of dollars.
Yes.
Pat Trump, let your educated lawyers educate you. You are not subsidizing Canada. It's what you call trade deficit, because of the population of people that you guys have. It's called trade deficit. You're not subsidizing Canada with a dime.
Okay.
That's all it is.
BD, can you hear us now? Okay, BD is still having issues. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you. One last announcement before we go. There's a product of Microsoft called Skype. Raja, I know you used Skype a lot back in the days. Now, Skype is shutting down. People will no more use Skype because the other things are happening, and I think they couldn't maintain the technicalities around it. So Skype is going off. Viewers, if you have Skype account or whatever, you can switch to there's another one they brought in, a Team. I think it's called Team. Another, yes. So no more Skype, but Team takes over as Microsoft P2P telecommunication means. So that's a new for us. Also,
the problem was that they were not enhancing, because they were the ones, they introduced this, and they should have continued with the technological advancement. Zoom came, Teams came, and all the rest of them came, even including our simple WhatsApp. They're doing what Skype, is doing. They should have gone. They should have been the one to take over from Zoom. When Zoom was doing what they were doing, they should have learned from it. But when you do not upgrade yourself technologically, you will die. You will die off, and that's exactly what is happening to Skype. Because nobody's using Skype anymore. I haven't even heard of Skype in 3, 4, 5 years.
Well, some business people use it anyway, but it's going up. Also, George, we know the PDD case. Lawyers are all moving in. What PDD did was Puff that what he did was to bring in some of the best attorneys that you have. So there's a lady he has brought in, Murino, and let's see if he's going to survive what's before him. So, George, I think by Wednesday we'll be having some update on that.
You're going to have an update on it, but let me tell you something else. Some of these top-notch individuals in the music industry, movie industry, and sports industry will contribute to ensure that PDD doesn't go down. So they can fight this thing and make sure that some of this information that he has, is not going to come out there, because a lot of people will be shamed if it does happen.
A lot of people will be shamed if it does happen. PD, what's happening?
Yep.
Yes, we'll be losing you. Can you hear us now?
Network. Yeah, I can hear you. It's the network.
What did we call it? You call it a Asiwaju network again? Is that a Asiwaju network?
I think people should leave my Asiwaju.
That's my man.
We're doing.
That's my man.
BD, give us updates you have on anything you've been talking.
Yeah, the main thing that is happening is about VDM and the culture of silencing Nigerian. That's actually what is trending in Nigeria now. The VDM.
Very dark man.
Yes,
VDM was arrested on Friday. He went to Zenith Bank. Very dark man. Yeah, VDM. Yeah. So you people already know the story. The thing is this: the mother said they've been deducting money from her accounts, that she took loans. She said she did not take any loan. So he went to ask them, why are you people deducting money from my mother's account? She said she did not take any loan. The next thing is that he was arrested. The first news we got is that he was trapped on GTB door, and EFCC came and picked him up. Now, as of yesterday, news came that it wasn't GTB. Now, my question as a media person, GTB is a global bank, it's a big bank, it's not a mushroom bank. Why did it take you people over 24 hours to give out a statement? This thing happened on a Friday morning. This thing started, your PR department would have come out with publication, but people kept quiet on Friday, kept quiet on Sunday. It was on Saturday you could now release the footage and were saying, it's not us. Now, I go back to the very dark man's lawyer, Deji. Deji was actually the person who started this on his S account. He said, if I'm coming back to Nigeria, I'm going to move all my money from GT Bank. People should be paying for their consequences, for their acts. You know, Nigerians, they now jump into it, and it started trending. Now, it's just today that EFCC now came out to say, it's not GTV. There are a lot of petitions against very dark man for cyberbullying. Do you understand? Now, the tension has cooled down and a lot of damage has been done. So my blame is on GTB. You know, it goes down to not regarding people, because we live in a society where people are not regarded, people are not respected, people don't have respect. Because if GTB as a bank have a respect for Nigerians, the first thing they would have done is to issue a statement. But you did not do that on Friday, you did not do it on Saturday. It was on Sunday you start coming up because you saw people were max moving out of your bank. So that's actually the main thing that's trending. Now, what is this thing? Nigerian governments don't want Nigerians to speak. Do you understand? Now, if you feel you are bullied, you go to court and they will invite the person that felt that is bullying you. They invite you to court. You will speak at the court. But arresting someone as if he's an armed robber without having invited him is still that culture of silence. The thing is that Nigerian government don't want to see any Nigerian who has a voice. Very Dark Man is not my best of friends. I've clashed with him in so many things. Do you understand? But I'm the kind of person that attack issues and I attack personality. So that is actually the main thing that is happening in Nigeria now.
Can I quickly say something?
Okay.
Number one, what they did, pay attention to this. This is very, very important. It took them time to go and find a video where Very Dark Man came to their bank. And then when he came to the bank and they showed him leaving the bank, or it took them time to edit things and turn it around to come out and say that they were not the ones that actually did it. But they delayed the man, according to the news that was heard. They delayed the man for a while until these people, how did they know that he went to that bank to come over there and to arrest him from right after, even if he did not arrest him from the bank? Who called them to let them know that the very VDM was in that bank for them to come in that vicinity to wait for him? You see, GT Bank is still trying to exonerate themselves, but the public must hold them accountable for what just took place, because they were part and parcel of the whole thing. So they knew what happened. Let me tell you something. When you go and check that video that they were releasing to say that, oh, we don't have anything to do with it, go and check that video. If it is forensic evidence is done on that video, you will see that it has been doctored and something happened in it. I was watching it earlier. So that's what they did to exonerate themselves. But I believe that institutions ought to be neutral when it comes to things like this. Why would they blindfold this man and beat him up like a criminal simply because of what? Because 2 weeks ago or last week, he spoke and was talking about, then come and arrest me. And then they wanted to show him, yeah, we got the power. We can arrest you. It doesn't matter. We can violate your constitutional right for freedom of speech and nothing will happen. Nigeria, be careful. Be careful. You guys are treading on a very thin line. It is no longer good.
I totally agree with Mr. George. I totally agree with Mr. George, because you see, we are media people. You know, getting that video, it will not take them up to 30 minutes, but because they actually wanted to edit that video, that was why it took them over 2 days. I agree with you. You're correct.
Thank you. So, viewers, for those of us abroad, overseas Nigerians that don't know what we're talking about, is this young man you see there. He's called Very Dark Man, VDM. Now, VDM says he's the voice of the voiceless. What he does is he stands like an advocate for people that don't have lawyers and people that have situations, nobody to help them. He comes in and he helps put solutions to whatever problem they face. So now he is in the custody of
another heavy topic that is trending.
Yeah,
there's another anti-party activities. Aburi-led faction set to probe Abia State governor. The Aburi of Labour Party, they are set to probe Abia State.
Let's have you on Wednesday to give us updates on that, BD, if you can, please. Raji, I want us to leave now. We've used some extra time, but it's all beautiful. The updates are coming well. George is adding his own. Raji, do you have anything you want to add to?
Just that I want to tap into the grace that Ayo Adebanjo had. That even at 96, the guy was still lucid. His intellect was in complete. I want to tap into that grace, and by the grace of God, I'll be lucid and virile even at 99. Amen.
Amen.
You will be. You married an Igbo woman. You will. You married an Igbo woman.
All right, gentlemen.
Yes, God bless Nigeria and God bless our president.
Amen.
And grant him the wisdom to rule us well.
Amen.
Amen. Yes, that's an important prayer too, because when he goes down, we all go down. PD. So let's have you on Wednesday, guys. Viewers, thank you for coming. This is Between the Lines Monday starter, new starter, SSM new starters, and see what we have here. Great panelists. Thank you all for coming. So till we come again on Wednesday, Wednesday will be 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. Until then, everybody have a beautiful week.
Have a good evening.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.